tracks. Must be a real big one.
Looks like he's heading up for the rocks above the old lumber road.
Hey, you see what I see?
If he gets in that brush, we've lost him for sure. Look, I'll circle around and try to cut him off. You keep on his trail.
Right.
That's all right.
Papa, my eyes, I can't see. Papa, I can't see anything. Can't see, Papa, my eyes.
Easy, easy. It was you. You shot my little girl. You blinded her. It's all right, baby.
I can't see, Papa. I can't.
Joe. Son, you've got to stop blaming yourself. It was an accident, pure and simple. The bullet ricocheted.
Pa, I am to blame. It was my bullet that blinded her.
Could have happened to anybody.
Yeah, but it happened to me.
Now, don't you worry, sweetheart. The doctor says there's a very good chance you'll see again.
You mean that, Papa? You're not lying to me?
He's not lying to you, sis. You're gonna be just fine, but it's gonna take a while.
Oh, Papa, how are we gonna manage? You can't afford to put me into a hospital.
We're staying with the Cartwrights. They're gonna foot all the bills.
Can they afford it?
From what I've seen of the size of their spread, they can afford almost anything. And they owe it to you. It's the least they can do for what they've taken away from you.
Now, Joseph, will you settle down? You're acting as if it were your first day out instead of hers.
I'm sorry, Pa. It's that I've been trying to see her ever since the accident. I just don't understand why her father won't let me go near her.
Well, I think his concern is natural.
I just want to tell her how sorry I am.
I think you'll have your chance right now.
Papa, I'm scared.
Don't be afraid. We'll hold you. Come on. There it is. That's fine. Fine. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
One more.
Well, good morning, good morning. And how's our lovely young patient this morning?
Who's that?
I'm Ben Cartwright.
She's feeling quite chipper. This is the first day without the bandages.
Feels good to get out of that room for a change.
I'm sure it does.
Papa, could I maybe get a little fresh air?
Sure.
I was hoping she might like something like that.
Who's that?
It's little Joe, Tessa. Look, I Thought you might like a little ride. I've got the carriage outside. I got the horse all hitched
It's
up.
the wrong car, right? You trying to ease out from under a guilty conscience?
Lon, that's no way to talk. You shouldn't turn the back of your hand to a generous offer. If little Joe would like to take her for a ride, I think that would be nice if Tessa would enjoy it.
Oh, I'd enjoy anything that would take me out into the fresh air for a while, Papa.
So we better get started then. There's an awful lot of the Ponderosa to see.
Well, Tessa,
I'll see you later, Papa.
enjoy yourself.
Oh. We've been riding for quite a while. You want to get out and stretch your legs a bit?
Oh, I'd like that. Careful.
There's a log over here. Would you like to sit down?
Yes, I would.
This way. It's right behind you.
Yes, I found it.
One of my favorite spots. Used to come here and fish when I was a kid.
It feels very pretty. Tell me what it looks like.
There's a lot of trees around. Pretty big trees. And, well, there's a slope over there with some cattle on it. Not very many of them. And there's a little stream running by. There's a lot of birds and ducks. There's a blue jay in this tree right here.
It sounds beautiful.
Tessa, I'm so sorry. If I could give you my eyes, I would.
It wasn't your fault. It was an accident.
It was my fault that it happened.
Don't blame yourself. Let's talk about something else. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Tell me about yourself. Have you lived here all your life?
Yeah, I was born here.
I envy you. I've been on the move all my life. My pa doesn't seem to stay in one spot very long.
What does your father do?
Oh, a little bit of everything. You might say that pa's been looking for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Did he ever find it?
Not yet. But I suppose he will. He doesn't give up too easily. Oh, I'm starting to get a little cold.
Yeah, we better be getting back then. I don't want to keep you out too long the first day.
Okay.
Tessa, I'll cut that for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're getting too fast for me, little Joe. Doesn't a father have any prerogative in taking care of his daughter?
It's my pleasure.
Fine. Now, there's something that I've been wanting to say to all of you. You Cartwrights have been awfully good to us. I don't know what would have happened to us if you hadn't taken us in.
That was the least we could do. Tessa, the meat's on the left and vegetables are on the right.
And if I've been short-tempered and mean these past few days, why, it isn't because of what happened to Tessa there. Well, we've had some plans, and those plans are pretty well gone now.
What plans?
A job out in California. Paid well, too, but I had to be there by a certain time, and the time's passed now.
You sure it's too late now?
Quite sure. That really isn't very important. What is important is the young man that was waiting for Tessa. Met him out in Missouri about a year ago. He was on his way to California. He was going to make his fortune. Said he'd send for Tessa, and he did a couple of months ago.
Papa.
Oh, it's true. The engagement is off, Tessa. It seems he doesn't want to marry a blind woman. Comfortable?
Pa, what was all that about down there?
What do you mean?
I mean, all those lies you were telling at dinner, all that talk about a job for you and a fiancé for me, I don't understand. Why were you lying like that?
Well, now, were they really such terrible lies? Maybe one day there will be a job for me and a fiancé for you. Who knows?
Papa, you're not trying to make the Cartwrights feel even more guilty, are you? To make them look after us even better than they do now?
Guilty? Tessa, I'm doing this for you and Lon. Ever since you were little, I promised you that one day we'd have something. Well, that day has come. We've found the end of the rainbow, and it has a name. Cartwright.
Papa, they're good, decent people. You can't take advantage of them that way.
No one's trying to take advantage of them. Aren't you forgetting that it was little Joe's bullet that blinded you? Whatever the Cartwrights are doing for us, they owe us.
Papa, little Joe's a nice boy. I can't see him, but I can feel what he's going through. And it was an accident.
Is little Joe beginning to mean something to you?
No. I just don't feel the need to hurt him anymore.
No one wants to hurt him. And after all, we may be doing him some good. After all, knowing a wonderful girl like you shouldn't be a hardship on any man. Now, you try to get some rest. I'll look in on you after a bit.
Just want to go for a walk, or you want to sit around here?
I think I'd like to sit for a while.
Okay. Right over here. Don't get scared when you sit down. It's a rocker.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I don't know what I'd do without my eyes.
Oh. I like being your eyes, Tessa. Tessa, the fellow in California, the one you were engaged to. I suppose you loved him very much.
Why do you ask?
I don't know, you just strike me as the kind of girl who'd have to love a man very much to marry him.
Yes, I'm that kind of girl.
Have you been able to forget him at all?
Isn't that the best way?
I guess so. Tessa, suppose a man came along someday and asked you to marry him. How would you feel about it?
Well, that would depend on why he wanted to marry me, Joe. Because of my blindness, he might mistake love for pity, and... Well, I just don't think that would be a very sound basis for marriage.
guess not.
Woman has pride. She wants a man to love her for herself alone, not because he feels sorry for her.
You talk as though you don't believe a man could love you just for yourself alone.
I don't know. Would you take me in now? I'm getting kind of tired.
If that's what you want. What's so funny?
I was just reading Dickens. You must read this.
I wanted to talk to you.
You've got to read this book, Joe.
Hey, Pa, it's kind of important.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. So involved.
Yeah. Well, what would you say if I told you I was going to ask Tessa to marry me?
Well, she's a fine girl, Joseph. I think that any man would be proud to call her his wife.
Good.
What about Tessa? What does she feel?
I think she cares for me a lot. Maybe as much as I care for her.
Well, of course, there's quite a difference between caring for a person and loving him.
Oh, Pa, don't you see? It's a perfect answer for all of her problems. Now, who can take better care of her for the rest of her life than a husband?
Joe, you make me feel real good. You have a sense of responsibility. That's good. But I don't want to make a martyr of yourself because of an unfortunate...
Pa, there is no martyrdom involved. It would be a good marriage.
An unfortunate accident, Joe.
Her blindness is my problem.
Now, Joe, you have a life of your own to live.
Now, Pa, I want you to get used to the idea because I'm going to ask Tessa to marry me. Hi, Mr. Caldwell.
Well, Joe,
Thought I'd come a little early, see if Tessa wanted to go for a ride.
well, she's already gone riding with her brother. Got me worried. They should have been back hours ago.
Which trail they take?
Well, they went off the North Ridge there.
I'll find it.
Lon? Lon? Take the reins. The brush is too thick here.
You're all right. Just keep coming.
Lon!
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to get hurt, but I can't watch every minute. Okay, mount up.
No.
Tessa, we gotta get back to the ranch now. You can't walk all that way.
No, Lon, I'm scared. I don't want to.
Oh, come on, mount up. What do you expect me to be, your nursemaid the rest of your life? I'm your brother, not your husband.
You ever hurt Tessa again, and I'll kill you. Tessa, you all right?
Oh, yes, Joe, I'm all right.
You're the one blinded her. Now you take care of her.
You know, one thing your brother said made sense. You need a husband to take care of you the way she'd be taken care of.
Who'd want to marry a blind girl?
I would if you'd have me. Tessa, I would if you'd have me.
Mr. Cartwright?
Oh, yes, Tessa, here I am.
Could I speak to you for a moment, Mr. Cartwright?
Yes, of course. Why don't you sit down over here? There's the chair right behind you now. Would you like some coffee?
No, thank you. Mr. Cartwright,
Yes, dear.
little Joe asked me to marry him today. Did he tell you?
Yes, he did tell me. He also told me that you refused to give him an answer. Why?
Oh, Mr. Cartwright, if I could just look into little Joe's eyes right this minute, if I could see that there was love there and not just pity and guilt, I'd say yes so fast it would make your head spin.
He means so much?
Oh, yes. But I can't see what's in his eyes. That's why I've come to you. You're his father, and you know him better than anyone else. Oh, Mr. Cartwright, please tell me what to do.
Well, it's very difficult. I don't think anyone can tell you what to do. But I think that if two people love each other, I mean, truly, deeply love each other, well, then nothing else matters, does it? Not even blindness. Because there's so many other things that they can share together.
But how can I be sure? Where can I find the answer?
In your heart, Tessa. In your heart.
If I should say yes, if we should get married, you won't hate me. You won't think I'm marrying little Joe just because I need him.
No, Tessa. I don't think you're that kind of girl. I don't think you're the kind of girl who'd marry anyone for selfish reasons.
Papa?
Over here.
Papa, where's little Joe?
Oh, they all had to go into town on business. They'll be right back. Say, you better hurry up and get some breakfast before it gets cold.
I'll be right there. Help.
You all right? It should have helped you.
Papa. I can see you. Yes. Papa, I can see you.
Are you sure?
Yes. Papa, I can see everything. I can see the blue chair and I can see the brown and green books and the guns and the fireplace and the Indian rug and the fruit on the boat. Papa, I can see again.
Wonderful.
Little Joe. Papa, this changes everything. I've got to tell little Joe.
Tessa.
Papa, I'm whole again. I'm the way he'd want me to be. Oh, Papa, I can't wait till he gets back.
Tessa, are you sure this is the right way?
Oh, Papa, he's got to know as soon as possible. Don't you see, he won't feel guilty anymore, and I'll be able to see what's in his eyes.
Well, maybe it isn't all that easy.
What are you getting at?
Well, suppose that little Joe doesn't love you the way that you think that he ought. Suppose there is a small element of pity and guilt in the way he feels about you. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't some love, and I'm not saying that this love doesn't grow every day that you two are together, but has it grown strong enough? Maybe if you blurt out the truth now, why, this whole thing will be over. It'll be finished.
Papa, he loves me. And the fact that I can see again will only make him love me more.
Of course. But why take unnecessary chances? Wait until after you're married and then tell him, and that way, no harm will come to anyone.
Pa's right. What's so terrible about pretending you're blind a little longer?
Of course, and women have been setting their caps for men down through the ages, and the intelligent thing to do is to win the man first and then tell him the truth.
Papa, it's because I love little Joe that I owe him the truth. Don't you understand? I can see again. I don't need to marry little Joe anymore unless he really loves me.
And what about Lon and me? Don't you care what happens to us one little bit?
Papa, you and Lon.
Do you realize what's in store for us if we have to leave here now? No money, no jobs, nothing.
Papa.
Tessa, I'm 53 years old. All my life, I've been waiting for something good to happen to me. All my life, I've been tending to you and to Lon. Don't take this chance away from me. Don't take it away from all of us.
Papa, what are you asking me to do?
He's asking you not to turn on your own flesh and blood.
I don't want to turn against you. Just tell me what you want me to do.
I want you to play blind until after you're married to little Joe. Do it for me. Do it for Lon. You owe it to us.
I can't do that.
Tessa,
Papa, I can't.
it's our last chance to get anything.
Oh, another thing. First thing tomorrow morning, we go up to the north section, see how many camps have been dropped.
Tessa, what's the matter? You look upset. Tessa, what's wrong?
Nothing's happened, little Joe. I guess I'm just tired of being blind. Get me upstairs, Papa.
Tessa? Tessa, come on. What's the matter? You've been avoiding me the past few days.
I don't know. Nothing's the matter.
Come on now, there is something the matter. You're just not the same girl anymore.
I wish I knew what kind of girl I really am.
I know what kind of girl you are. I asked you a question a week ago, and I'm still waiting for an answer.
Joe, please.
Tessa, I want to marry you.
Joe, please.
Tessa, I want to marry you. I want to marry you now, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Are you sure that's what you really want?
Yes, I'm sure. It's what I want more than anything else in the world. Tessa, please say yes.
All right. I'll marry you.
Pa? Hey, Pa?
He must be in the barn. I'll go get him. You be all right?
Fine.
Pa, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. Where's Tessa? I just left her here.
She just went upstairs, Joe. Joseph, it's wonderful.
She already told you about us getting married.
Well, no.
Pa, I finally convinced her. Pa, I'm gonna fill her life with so much love that her blindness won't matter. I'll be her eyes for the rest of her life. Well, come on, aren't you gonna congratulate me?
Oh, of course. Of course.
You don't look too happy about it.
She's a remarkable girl, Joseph.
Of course she is. She couldn't be any more right for me, Pa.
Joe, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure about her?
I know my own mind.
Of course you do. I don't suppose you've set the date yet.
No, the sooner the better. Just give us enough time to invite some friends and neighbors.
Don't you think it might be an idea? After all, you don't know each other that well. Perhaps if you waited a bit.
We know each other well enough.
Yes, but what do you think of the idea of maybe we should take her to San Francisco and have a doctor examine her eyes?
Pa, I'm not kidding myself about her. She's blind, and I made her that way.
I know, but they're always developing new techniques.
I don't want to hurt her any more than I have already. I love her the way she is. Come on, Pa, don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Joseph, you're my son, and I just want the best for you. The very best.
And stop worrying. I think I got the best. I know I got the best, Pa. Hey, better go upstairs and see her.
Hey, Paul. Little Joe find you? Little Joe find you?
Yes, he found me.
He told you about the wedding, huh?
Yes.
Paul, you don't seem very happy about it. You ain't worried just because Tessa's blind, are you?
Oh, she isn't blind.
She what?
I said she isn't blind.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. A little while ago when little Joe was looking for me, I went to the back way. And there she was in front of that mirror in the living room, primping. And then she ran up those stairs like the wind. She can see better than you or me.
Oh, that don't even make sense.
I know it doesn't.
What? You mean she's just been playing a game with us?
I don't know. I just don't know.
You gonna tell little Joe?
Hoss, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I'll tell you something. I like that girl. I think she likes little Joe enough. Maybe she even loves little Joe enough to tell him the truth about herself before this goes much further.
What if she don't?
We're gonna have to give it that chance.
Morning, Tessa.
Good morning. Oh, the flowers, they smell beautiful.
Yeah, the place is really getting gussied up. It's gonna look beautiful for the wedding.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just straightening things up a little bit.
Joe, I have some good news for you.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
I think my eyesight is beginning to come back to me.
What?
It's just been in the last couple of days. But I can see a little bit of light. Now, but I had to be sure before I said anything to you.
Tessa, can you see me?
No, not clearly, but I know I will.
Oh, thank God.
God, you're going to see again.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, God.
Now you won't have to feel guilty anymore. I mean, now you don't have to marry me if you don't want to.
What do you mean?
This is a perfect chance for you to back out.
Don't say that, Tessa. Please don't say that. I asked you to marry me, and I meant it.
Are you sure, Joe? Are you very sure?
Of course I'm sure. Of course I am.
Yes?
May a future father-in-law come in?
Certainly.
Isn't she a dream, Mr. Cartwright?
Well, she certainly is. You've done a beautiful job, Mrs. Partridge. Of course, you had a beautiful subject to work with.
Oh.
Mrs. Partridge, may I have a moment alone with Tessa?
Why, sure.
Thank you. Well, I know it's a father's prerogative to have a few moments with his daughter at a time like this, but is it also a father-in-law's?
Of course.
Well, actually, I came to wish you everything well. To tell you what a wonderful girl I think you really are.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Cartwright. Do you think I deserve all that?
Yes, I'm sure. You know, all through the years, I prayed that when one of my sons was ready to marry, he'd choose a young woman who was worthy, who loved him deeply, and who knew that he loved her, and who'd always have his best interests at heart.
And you think I'm that kind of girl?
I know you are. Because you see, I think you love and respect little Joe enough so that you'd always do what's best for him. What's right for him. What's right for both of you. No matter what the cost. Bless you, Tessa.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yes.
Nothing. It was nothing.
Tears? At a time like this?
It's just my nerves, Papa. It's just my nerves.
Well, now, they're all waiting for you. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'll get my bouquet, Papa.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here together in the sight of God and the presence of this company to join this man and this woman in holy wedlock. Joseph Cartwright, you take this woman, Tessa Caldwell, for your lawful wedded wife, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love, honor, and cherish her for as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Tessa Caldwell, do you take this man, Joseph Cartwright, for your lawful wedded husband, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love, honor, and obey him for as long as you both shall live?
I can't, Papa. I
It's
just
all right.
can't.
It's all right. I guess I've known all along I was asking you to do the wrong thing.
I can't.
Tessa, you can see.
Joe, go away.
Tessa, look at me. You can see.
Yes, I've been able to for days.
Well, then why didn't you tell me?
My papa was afraid that you'd back out of the marriage if you knew. That's why he made up that story about the man who was waiting for me in California. Oh, don't you see, Joe? We've been using you, taking advantage of your guilt.
You told me yesterday you were getting your sight back. Why didn't you tell me the whole truth then? Why did you wait till the ceremony?
I guess because I didn't want to disappoint Papa. Mainly because I didn't want to face the truth about us.
And what is the truth?
That your feeling of love for me was really guilt. And that my feeling of love for you was really fear of being alone in the darkness.
Well, then you don't love me, not really.
Not enough for marriage, Joe. Neither of us do.
Tessa, I have been so afraid to say anything. I didn't want to hurt you anymore.
I know. That's why I had the courage to do what I did.
You know, my pa was right about you. You're a very remarkable girl.
And you Cartwrights are a remarkable family. I kind of hate to face the truth.
Me too. Well, you see, better go down and tell the guests they can all go home.
Okay.
Be all right.
Yes.
Tessa, I wrote a letter to a friend of mine in San Francisco. Now, if you were to deliver this to him personally, I think he might be able to find a job for your father and your brother.
You mean you're willing to help us after what we tried to do to you?
Oh, Tessa. Your heart wasn't in it. Anyway, I told you, you're just not that kind of girl.
Well, you're on your way. No, I want to tell you something. You are the prettiest girl that I ever almost married.
And you're the handsomest man.
Well, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Cartwright, thank you for your many kindnesses, even though it didn't turn out to be a pot of gold.
Oh, Papa. Any pots of gold from now on will be made by our own hands.
That's a depressing thing to learn at my age, but we'll try. Goodbye, Ben.
Marcus, I'm glad everything turned out well.
Thank you.
Bye, Tessa.
Bye,
Yeah.
On.
Get a letter from the president?
I know. Somebody left you $1 million.
Oh, hi, Paul.
Paul, hey, you remember Jim Layton?
Jim Layton, that big mountain man, the one you had the big fight with? I'd sooner remember an earthquake.
Well, Paul, he's getting married.
Jim Layton's getting married?
Yep. He wants me to be his best man. On account I'm the only feller that ever whooped him fair and square.
Jim Layton. Oh, there's a man that walks around with trouble in a bundle and loves every minute of it.
Well, Paul, according to this letter, he's changed.
Him changed? Hoss, do yourself a favor. Keep away from him. He's trouble, big trouble, nothing but trouble.
Well, but even so, Paul, it's sort of an honor to be invited to be Jim Layton's best man. I mean, up there in the mountain country, his country. I reckon I ought to be thinking about a wedding present for him or something.
Well, it better be portable if you're going to travel all that way.
Hey, Paul. You know them little match ponies you got from old Gene Hendricks?
Oh, no, you don't. Not them match ponies. You keep away from them now. Why'd you get him something simple? Like a pair of matched bears. Or dueling pistols, or lace for the bride.
Oh, Paul, lace. Jim Layton ain't gonna marry no gal like that. Now, look, Paul, I'll offer you a fair price for him, and I know you didn't pay much for him. Paul, look, I owe it to him. That was the best dang fight I ever had in my life.
Yeah, you almost got yourself killed in that best dang fight you ever had. Now you want to be with him again. Oh, I just smell another fight. But you're setting going, aren't you? Well, tell you what. The match ponies are yours.
Thanks, Paul.
It's your bones, too.
You Paiutes? Comanche? I come in peace, whoever you are. Dad, burn your ornery cantankerous hide. You ain't changed a bit, Jim.
Oh, yes, I have, you big hay-shaking farmer. In the old days, I'd have used a real engine. Doggone, Hoss, it's good to see you, even if you are a plumb sorry-looking sight.
Wait till I start prodding you down that aisle. Then we'll see who's going to be the sorry-looking sight.
Now, hold on. Just 'cause you whoop me fair and square in your own backyard don't give you no license to forget who's king of this here mountain. And I'll tell you something else. If you don't get a pot of coffee on about nothing flat, I'm going to give you a chance to try your luck again.
You better save yourself for that wedding. You know something, Jim? You got a good life up here.
Yeah, but it gets awful lonesome.
Well, I never did mind being lonesome if I was by myself. It's being lonesome with somebody that scares me.
Scares me, too. You know, Hoss, I reckon that's the reason that I run all over the country getting into trouble like I did. And I come back home here and seen how Julie had growed up.
You sure do get moony-eyed when you talk about her. I reckon you mean it, don't you?
Hoss, she's cut right out of these here mountains. But soft, though. And I sure do mean it.
Well, sir, I'll tell you, Jim, you're going to have all the good luck that I can possibly wish down on you.
Hoss, that's the reason I ask you to be my best man. You know, with all that pallor, why, you ought to pack a little bit of weight upstairs.
Very funny. She probably don't deserve you, even if she has got poor judgment. What's the matter?
Somebody's a-coming. It's Julie, I think.
Well, you figuring on shooting her? You ain't even married yet.
Just stop your yapping. I think she's got her paw on.
Jim?
Yeah, Julie? You got your paw with you?
Yeah, but he ain't armed. He promised he wouldn't start anything. Will you talk to him?
Where's he at, Julie?
Behind the rock.
You sure he ain't armed?
I searched him myself.
All right, sweetheart. Bring him on in.
Come on, Pa, come on.
You're gonna get my head shot off.
Pa.
You lead me to the slaughter like a lamb.
Now, you gonna keep your word?
Look, if I made you a promise, I'm going to keep it. But it ain't going to make no difference, because that no-good skunk you think you're marrying, he don't know the difference between right and wrong.
Now, Pa, I don't think, I know there's going to be a wedding.
If he lives that long. What's that?
Well, this is Hoss Cartwright. He's going to be best man at our wedding. Hoss, this is Julie, Grizzly Hoss.
Hello, Hoss. I sure heard a lot about you.
Well, thank you, Miss Julie. I've heard a lot about you, too. Mr. Martingale?
Any friend of Layton's is a mortal enemy of mine.
Am I your enemy, Pa?
Well, that's different, Julie. You're my daughter. Besides, you don't know what you're doing.
Jim, look, have I been invited here to be best man at a wedding or second for a fight?
Stick around. Just might be a pallbearer.
That's right. Just keep her talking.
Keep
now
your
you
big mouth shut or I'll hit you fast.
Stop it, the both of you. No, Pa, You ain't never broke a promise to me before. Are you gonna make this the first? And you promised to negotiate with Pa. Did you mean it?
All right, let's get it over with.
Not just talk this time? You both really try?
I'll try.
Well, I promised, didn't I?
All right, then. Hoss, will you take me for a walk? These two got some palavering to do.
Go ahead, Hoss.
Yes, ma'am. I'd be happy to, ma'am.
If he tries anything, just holler, Julie.
Well, I just may not. Well, it's kind of simple, really. Those two are the only real loves of my life. And I can't get them to be friends.
What's it all about, anyhow, Miss Julie?
Oh, they in there arguing over a piece of land they both lay claim to.
A big piece of land?
A very, very little piece, but a lot of stubborn pride. Sometimes pride's worth more than land out here.
Look, how did they come about laying claim to the same piece of land?
It was a stake in a card game. They both had the same hand. Pair of trays, ace, jack, 4. And they've been arguing over it ever since. That was 14 years ago.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing for sure. This sure ain't no atmosphere for a wedding, is it?
Oh, sure is quiet in there. That's a bad sign. Means they're up to something.
Look, I'll go over and stick my head in and take a peek.
Oh, you be careful. They both be real touchy. I know them.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation, but I got some stuff in my saddlebags over here I needed to tend to.
I was a fool ever to come over here palaver with a swindling cheat. You ain't gonna bamboozle me out of what's mine. Never again.
I don't want what's yours, you belly-aching old billy goat. All I want is what's mine. What you're claiming is yours and ain't. I won that fair and square in that poker game.
You did not. You lost. Boy, will you get out of here? You're getting on my nerves.
Now, he's my guest. Don't you go telling him what to do.
That's right. Keep your bodyguard close at hand. You're gonna need him, you fork-tongued old lizard.
Now, watch out what you're saying, old man. Julie's paw or not, there's a limit to what I'm going to take off of you.
Well, hurry up and get to it, cuz I'm sick of your empty blather.
You talk like you're sick of breathing, do you?
Now listen to me. Why, you two sound like a bunch of overgrown children. And I sure ain't gonna spend the rest of my life listening to you growling at each other. Or maybe one of you losing hold and killing the other. And I sure ain't gonna choose between you neither. So don't make it come to that. Now you better settle this thing somehow.
Oh, Julie, you know I'm trying to settle it.
Yeah, me too, honey. It's this lying cheat you're marrying.
See what he said?
You both made me sick.
You two are blaming everybody but yourself, and that poor little girl, she's soaking up the misery from both of you.
Ah, simmer down. It ain't as clear-cut as all that.
Well, it is to me. You wouldn't recognize the solution if it came up and punched you in the gut.
I would, too.
You would, huh? How about you?
I ain't heard nothing out of you but a lot of meddling talk. And no solution to nothing.
Why,
Jim! Wait a minute, Jim. Jim, look. Why don't you give the land to the old man? He's got his self-respect buried there in it, Jim, and I'll guarantee if you do, he'll hand Julie over to you wrapped up in a white ribbon.
Now, what about my self-respect? Shoot, I wouldn't be no good to Julie or myself, either one, without it. I told you one time before, Hoss, what my life has been like. Well, It's just my pride that's all's kept me alive. Julie knows that as well as anybody else does.
Since when's it gonna hurt your pride, Jim, to give a little?
Well, if I go giving in to old Grizzly now, why, I'll lose everything. Hoss, I've carved a life for myself out of these mountains. I've been called a dirty, no-good renegade half-breed. I've been locked up, shot up, spit on, but I won. Shoot, I'm king of these here mountains, and I ain't gonna give that up to nobody. Hoss, you tried to understand me one time before, and you saved my life. I'm asking you, just string along with me again, will you?
Jim, how far is it from here to that little piece of property? I'd kind of like to take a look at it.
What's the matter? You want to buy it?
Oh, I might. If you two ever decide who rightfully owns it. Come on. Let's go take a look at it.
All right.
Jim, you mean to tell me that rock pile out there is what you fellas been fighting over all this time?
Well, I'll admit it's a little bit dry, but they tell me it used to be a real pretty spot before the creek changed course.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's so bad at that.
What are you driving at?
Well, then, I just might have me a little idea. Here. Been thinking. There's an easy solution to the problem of who owns that property.
Ain't no problem. I own it.
You arbitrate.
What? What'd you call me?
No, Grizzly, I ain't calling you nothing. That ain't what arbitrate means. Arbitrate means that the two of you will go out and get a third party. Somebody that ain't got no stake in neither one of you, and somebody that both of you agree on. Now, this third party then does some thinking on the matter, and he decides who rightfully owns the property. And then both of you agree to abide by his decision.
Oh, now, hold on just a minute.
Oh, Pa, he's right. You know he's right. Why, it's the only way.
Sounds fair and square to me.
Somewhere in this, there's a trick. I can feel it.
I can feel it too, Pa. I can feel my last chance coming up.
Well, supposing I lose this here, whatever that dang word is, does that mean I wasn't cheated? Does that mean I gotta bless the marriage of my only daughter to the man who cheated me?
Do it for my sake. Let me marry in peace.
Look, the way I see it, it's the only way you two are going to get by each other without busting heads.
What's wrong with knocking heads?
It ain't a proper way to bless a marriage, Pa. I want my marriage blessed proper.
But, honey, I just don't like this fancy way of settling things.
But you do it? For me? Please.
Well, who do you want to try first?
Well, how about the mayor?
Oh, no, not the mayor. I didn't vote for him. I told him so, too.
What about a judge? Is there a judge in town?
Comes by twice a year, but he wouldn't do no how. Dad blame idiot went and fined me $2 for busting up a saloon one time.
But, Jim, he suspended the sentence.
It don't matter. It's a principle of the thing. What I done to that saloon is worth $10 any day.
Well, let's try the store clerk. Either you owe me any money?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're on equal footing.
Kind of old, ain't he?
Yeah, snores real loud. Sign of character.
I never seen an honest shopkeeper in my life.
Me neither. Hey, wake up. Wake up!
Grizzly, Jim. Something wrong?
Why, Pa and Jim are finally going to settle their land dispute. We need an arbitrator.
Please, folks, I got a wife, I got 3 kids, and I'm allergic to crossfire. Anybody knows I'm not too bright, and I don't know a darn thing about land. You fellas don't have to worry about the money you owe me, okay? Please, don't make me do this.
Hey, what if... No, forget it. It wouldn't work. What about the undertaker?
Nope. Never paid him for planting Uncle Jake. Uncle Jake weren't worth planting.
What about a doctor? They ought to be a doctor in town. They're supposed to be brave and honest.
No. I never paid him for birthing Julie.
Oh, we've been through this whole blame town. They're either too scared or one of you rejected them.
Somewhere in this town, there's an arbitrator, and I'm going to find him if I have to turn over every stinking rock.
I'm going home.
Well, I'm going to the saloon. All this thinking has parched me.
Yeah, why don't you?
I reckon she's fed clean up by now.
I don't blame her none, neither. Yet that burn lunkhead, why don't you go on after her? That's what she wants you to do, and say something nice to her, too. Dang it, Jim, you don't know nothing about women, do you?
All right, Romeo. All right. I'm sorry, Julie. I'm sorry that it couldn't have been simple and easy.
Sorry? Why should Jim Layton be sorry about anything? Why, he's king of the mountain. Kings don't have to be sorry about nothing.
Right now, I don't hardly feel like king of a molehill. Julie, I can't help it what I am. When I asked you to marry me, it was me you said yes to, not something or somebody else.
Life sure would have been easier had I turned you down.
I reckon it ain't too late to change your mind.
Jim, it was too late the day I met you.
Give me a beer, please, sir.
You dogging my footsteps, farmer boy?
Nope. Just trying to be sociable. And that ain't too easy with you.
I don't mean it to be.
Grizzly, why don't you swallow a little bit of that pride of yours and give Julie a chance? Now, you got to start someplace, so why don't you decide on an arbitrator by tomorrow?
Look, farmer boy, don't push me. Just back off. I got ornery blood.
Ain't nobody pushing.
Oh, yes, there is. You are. All of you are. You just won't let a man grow old in peace. Got to take away everything he's got. Well, you ain't doing that to me, boy. I can still look out for myself. Now, just leave me alone. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of all of you. Now, just leave me alone.
Dad burn. If you ain't got a knack for putting together more words and saying less with them than any man I ever met in my life. Parson! Hey, Parson! Parson! Thank you. Stop it. I ain't gonna hurt you.
You ain't? Or aren't?
No, why do I want to do that?
Well, I haven't been doing very well in these parts. You see, I'm needed so badly that I'm not at all wanted. I seem to get run out of town before I even get in.
Yeah, it is sort of tough country, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm just not cut out for it. Yes, it was all a mistake anyway. I applied for duty at the Borneo mission, but they sent me here instead.
Yes, sir. I got a mighty big favor to ask of you.
A favor?
A big one.
You a Republican?
We're not allowed to discuss our political affiliation while under the cloak. I'm sorry.
Did you ever catch a trout on a feather?
I prefer silver spoons myself.
What's the difference between a steelhead and a rainbow?
If I remember correctly, the steelhead is the marine form of the rainbow trout, more correctly known as Salmo gardneri. Oh, the steelhead would be Salmo gardneri gardneri.
What's worth more, a skunk or a white weasel pelt?
The weasel.
Now, don't you go give me that look like your ma used to do.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. Yes, I've reached my decision.
Well, out with it.
Oh, yes, the decision. By the moral power vested in me by the Mission Society and approved by the Greater Seminary Council and weighted by the good book, I have examined the facts and looked into my heart and soul for a decision.
Out with it!
Please.
I know very little about poker, but even to the innocent, it's obvious that the hands of the disputants were identical. Now, the logical way to settle that dilemma would have been for one to sell or trade one half of the land to the other. Therefore, my decision as arbitrator is that the land be sold to a third party and the money divided between the disputants. Now, if you will excuse me.
Thank you very much, Parson. Thank you. Well, gentlemen, that decision seems most fair to me. Now, me being the third party, I'm offering you $200 for that property. That's $100 apiece. Anybody want to top it? All righty. Looks like it's a deal. And Grizzly, there's your 100. And Jim, there's your 100. Now, since I'm the sole owner of that property out there, it looks like we can stop all this feuding, don't it?
Suits me. You want to shake, Grizzly?
Sure, it suits you. You won this round with double talking and fancy doings. Had it figured all the time. Make a fool out of me in front of the whole dang town.
Now, Pa, you promised to abide by the decision. You gonna break your word?
Well, honey, there's some promises come first before others. You come in here with your pocket full of wise sayings, all ready to solve everybody's problems, huh? Sitting up there on your fine horse, all big and fat, huh? getting yourself some old runt of a parson who don't know the difference between a poker hand and a scalping knife to stand in front of the whole town and say, I don't own what I own. And my own daughter, listening to him, siding with him. Your mother had a few things to say to you about that. Out of my way!
Don't you talk to me about Ma. She'd have loved seeing you break your word this way.
My honor's put out there on that land. It's being stomped on.
Pa, I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
Well, then, I guess maybe there's ain't no more use talking.
You cool off, Julie. Look, honey, we got our own lives to live. Ain't nothing we can do about it if a stubborn old man wants to walk on everybody that crosses his path.
Just ain't fair. Being caught between the two men I love this way.
Jim, let her go.
I'll kill him, so help me, I'll...
That's all Julie needs for you to kill him.
Hoss, he's looking for a fight. You know that as well as I do.
All right. Is that what you want, a fight? Or a marriage? Look, Jim, that old man has put his pride in front of his own daughter's happiness. Now, is that what you want?
It's 6-5 and 3-1. 3-1 and 6-5. 6-5, there ain't no wedding. 3-1, Hayden wins the fight. Now, come on and get in here. What's the matter with you, Bob? Don't you feel lucky? All right, get back down here and get some action here. Get red hot. How much do you want? Give me. What do you want? Give me.
It fits, Pa. Well, I'm just the same size as Mom.
That's right, they're the same size. On the outside.
On the inside, too, Pa. And I love you just as much as she did.
But she never went contrary to my thinking, my feelings, like you.
She was your wife, Pa. And I want to be a wife, too. And be beholden to my husband's thinking and feelings.
Not much to that Jim Layton.
But, Pa, I love him. And if you love me, you bless my wedding.
Not when it's to that sneaking thief.
Ow!
That, Barney, hold still. This is going to be hard enough like it is.
What is this, a dressing or a lynching?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but better you than me.
Some friends you turn out to be.
Dang it. Now, hold still.
I am.
Quit shaking, then.
I ain't a-shaking.
You ain't? Hold out your hands.
Hoss, I ain't been so scared since that bear run me up a tree when I was 5 years old.
What are you scared of?
Did you ever get a good look at me? What do you suppose a pretty little thing like that Julie's doing marrying an ugly galoot like me?
Dang if I know, Jim, but if I was you, I'd hurry up and get to that church before she changed her mind and backs out.
Congratulations, Jim. Bygones is bygones.
Thanks a lot, Harry. They sure is.
You're hooked, Jim. No use tormenting you no more. Might as well shake.
It's been a long time, Wesley. Say, I want you to meet my good friend and best man, Hoss Cartwright.
Howdy. How are you, Wesley?
Hiya, Hoss.
Hi, how are you, sir? Howdy. How are you, sir?
Look at her, Hoss.
Yeah.
Boy, ain't she something?
Julie, how beautiful. Oh, congratulations.
Mr. Layton?
Give me the ring.
What to do with the ring? Burn it.
Here. Now, hang on to it.
Right.
We are gathered here to wed in holy matrimony Jim Layton and Julie Martingale. Here in this conclave of God, we must face our nature and our destiny. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare this ceremony commenced, with this stipulation, that if there be any man present who has reason that this marriage should not take place, let him speak now or forever hold his peace.
I'll be speaking now.
You ought to be ashamed. This is a church.
Jim, you can't fight him. If you do, you'll lose everything.
All right, Parson, this is the saloon again now.
Just stay out of my way, horse.
Jim, I can't let you do this. That Bernadette just ain't right.
Let him go, Hoss. Let them kill each other. Maybe they're right. Maybe it's the way it has to be. Pa, you feeling so old and sorry for yourself has turned you into a foolish old man who's given his daughter a wedding day she'll never forget. I just want to ask you one thing, and it's the last thing I'll ever ask. Why? Tell me why.
Julie, honey, that piece of land used to be real pretty with a stream running through it and poppies growing there. Your Ma, she was just 16. She used to go there and pick flowers. I met her there. I promised her that I'd always keep that place.
And you bet it on a poker game. And it's the shame of that day that's done this to us.
He cheated me.
Pa, nobody cheated you. You could have stopped that a long time ago. It's too late now.
I'd have said something about that land.
You keep your hatchet face out of my affairs, yeah? Ain't no concern of yours. Now, come on, let's get on with the fighting.
Whoop. Wait a minute, boys. Fight about what? You fellas seem to be forgetting it. I own that property now. You ain't got nothing to fight about, have you?
All right, here's your money back. Now it belongs to me again.
Oh, no, wait a minute. That money's just for half of it, even if I did decide to keep it. You see, I still own the other half.
Jim, are you still king of this here mountain, or has your friend here taken it away from you?
I'm sorry, horse. Now we own her together again, huh?
All right, now let's fight and settle this thing once and for all.
Wait a minute. Hold it. You're overlooking another very important fact. And that is that, well, that land just ain't for sale. I bought that property fair and square. And most of the people in this room were witness to it. If you two want that property, you're going to have to fight me for it. Either one of you or both of you. Don't make no difference.
Well, all right. One side, Jim. I'll take him.
No, I'll whoop him. He's my friend.
Now, just a doggone minute.
Now, hold on, Grizzly. If you and me go fighting one another, why, we ain't gonna have enough whooping power left to handle him. Tell you what we'll do. We'll flip for him.
All right. I'll take heads.
Thanks, horse. Tails.
Oh, shucks.
Gonna be different this time.
Dandy, Jimmy.
Oh, come on, I get 3 to 1 on you. Get up.
Jimmy, sounds like you was winning me.
Well, if there's one thing in this world you got plenty of, it's wind.
Come on. Love, Julie. You'll never know. You're gonna have to give up that land or you'll never get her.
My ancestors have turned over in their grave. He's looking at you. Well, Grizzly, any doubt in your mind who's king of the mountain now?
Give up?
Never.
No, it's me, Jimmy boy.
We sure whopped them, didn't we?
What do you mean, we?
Well, on account of you did most of the fighting. You can still be king of the mountain if you want. We don't let no outsider come in here telling us what to do, huh?
What about the land?
Well, remembering's the important part. Let him keep it. He bought it fair and square, didn't he?
Hey, maybe we better get that big gunsel outside where he can get some air, huh?
Yeah.
I better go get Julie, huh?
Oh, no, Jim. Let me. It's more fitting.
Somebody better go get a bucket of water.
Julie!
telegraph saying that you and he won the fight.
Come on, honey. Let's get inside, get on with the wedding.
Go on in, sweetheart. I golly, before your pa changes his mind again. You all right?
Yeah. You going inside, I'll join your man. Jim, I'm still your best man, ain't I?
You sure are, partner.
You know something? I think I won after all. Well, older brother, are you about ready to accompany our Pa on his annual cultural trip up to the Paiute Nation?
Well, I guess so. Since I had no choice. Since I'm elected, I'm ready.
Well, see if you can keep him from bringing home all that junk this time.
Just a minute. That isn't junk. That's genuine and very fine Indian artwork. About time you boys learned something about Indian art and customs and language.
Some of the finest hides I ever seen in my life.
Hey, you want to know something? This is a fact, too. This is true. Those Paiute women hand-chew those hides. That's why they're so soft. Bet they got the strongest teeth in the territory.
Sometimes I sense a certain lack of sensitivity in my sons. All right, let's get those steers out. We're a little late now.
Go.
Muska, Dahane Paiute.
Greetings, old friend.
Well, your English is improving. Better. Well, we brought you the best beef we could pick out.
Good. You, good man. Good, sir.
We've had good trading. And now I have a gift which I would offer you in honor of our long friendship. It's a watch for telling time.
I am honored with friend's gift. Will treasure long time. I have gift for friend. Young maiden, she yours.
I cannot accept gift of Indian maiden?
Not Indian. White girl. Taken many, many years ago.
Good girl. Work hard. Teach me English. My son casts eyes on her. Not good. My son marry Paiute. This one must go. White name, Joan.
Dita!
No. Nen mi man kuba. Net spay.
You say you'd kill her? If she ever came back to the tribe, he would.
Doesn't leave you much choice, does it?
I guess we better...
Wish you'd come on down here. I'm starving.
No eat on time 3 days now. Hop Sing ready go back China.
It's only been 3 days. It seems a lot longer to me.
Why? You just saw her just that once when we brought her home. She's been up in her room ever since.
Well, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about what it's been like to live with Pa. I've never seen him so upset.
Pa's got quite a problem.
He's got a problem. He's got a tiger by the tail's what he's got.
There's a great sense of responsibility. I mean, the chief doesn't give gifts lightly.
Gift? That's some gift. I'll bet you this ends Paul's annual cultural trek to the Paiute Nation.
No, I don't know. I think Pa will probably return a favor next year and bring the chief something nice like a lighted stick of dynamite.
Yeah, or a loco steer.
Maybe he'll make a gift to you, Hoss.
Very funny.
I'm glad somebody's happy about something.
No luck, huh?
No, she won't eat.
She give you any reason?
She won't talk either.
Look, Paul, maybe you ought to just give up and...
And what? I'd be very happy to give up. Somebody else will take the responsibility. Doctor won't even come out here. He says, eventually, her hunger will overcome her stubbornness. The sheriff was no help either.
Well, I thought Roy was kind of droll.
Droll. He's downright sarcastic is what he was.
Why, Adam, what did Roy say?
Well, he suggested that Pa get himself another watch. Like a grandfather's clock and maybe renegotiate with the chief.
Very funny.
No, well, he's got a point there. You might just try to explain to him that things aren't working out very well.
Adam, you know perfectly well you can't return a gift to a Paiute chief. Besides, he meant what he said. They'd kill her.
No eat now, food not fit to eat.
All right, Hop Sing, we'll eat now.
Indian girl no like Hop Sing food?
I said we'll eat now.
She loco.
Hop Sing, we're gonna eat right now. Will you stop yelling in my ear?
Hey, Paul, I got an idea. Listen, all this good food, she gets a smell of this, she'll eat, I guarantee you. I'll just make up a plate of it. I'll take it up there to her, and I'll hold it out in the hall and just let her get a waft of it through the door. I guarantee you she'll eat.
That's not a very good idea, Hoss.
It'll work, Paul.
I tell you, it's not a very...
Well, so she eats, then what?
Well, she should be given a chance to learn to live with her own kind of people. She's been living as an Indian since she was a child. It won't be easy for her.
What do you want us to do to help?
I suppose we should be understanding and patient. Help her make an adjustment.
She ain't hungry. He was right, Paul.
Does it?
What are you gonna do, Pa?
You give that lady a very necessary talking to.
What's he mean by that, Ed?
Well, you must remember that expression from when you were a kid.
You don't mean he's gonna...
I'm afraid so.
Now, we've tried every reasonable way we know. But you still persist in this stubborn refusal to do anything we ask you to do. Well, I'm giving you 3 seconds to get downstairs to
Spit on your mother's shadow!
Huh? I know that the Paiutes draw too many unpleasant expressions. So I'm not going to hold that against you, young lady.
Spit on your grandmother's shadow!
Boy, she's a feisty one.
She throws a pretty mean plate, too.
You know, frankly, I sort of wish Bo hadn't gone back up there. It's a long ride this time of night to fetch a doctor.
Oh, I think I put my money on Pa this time.
Oh, yeah? How much?
Well, Pa? She'll be down in a minute. Hop Singh, we got a fresh plate here.
Plate in bed.
John, you sit down, please.
And
And speak English.
all right. I
Now,
spit
just sit
on
down here. Just eat. Move up there. Unless you want to have another conversation at the same we had upstairs. Put a little gravy on that. Now, I'd like you to eat that, please. If you will. Joseph? Joseph.
Joni, how do you make it so shiny?
I spit on your
Joan.
bear fat.
Yeah, I thought I recognized that odor. Paul, if you don't mind, there's a sick horse out there in the barn. I think I'll go out and take care of him.
I think I better go help you, Pa.
Excuse me.
Sure. Good. Missy, eat now. It's good, yes? It's good. No?
I'm saying I'll call you if I need you. Feels a little more like it. Hang on.
I spit on your mother's shadow!
See, I got 2 of everything so that you could alternate them and keep them clean that way. It's pretty, isn't it?
What is this?
Oh, that's it's a camisole. It's an underthing. It's an underthing, and well, these are all underthings.
What is underthing?
Well, an underthing is you wear it under your dress.
All this underdress is too much. I not can move. Under this, I not wear.
Joni. Look, Joni, if you're going to live like a white woman, you got to dress like a white woman. Now, be a good girl, and you go on upstairs and put these things on. And put these on, too. They're shoes, boots.
Indian man much kinder to woman than white man.
Adam, where you been?
I was over at Clem White's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that traded some grain for some hogs.
No. We took care of that 3 weeks ago. I was over to see about selling him some stock.
Yeah, I guess I've been leaving everything up to you boys lately. I'm sorry to put the extra work on you, but...
We don't mind the extra work. It just...
Well, I've been really making some good progress with the girl. She's up in her room now, putting on some decent clothes that I bought her.
And then what? Just what is it that you want to do with her?
But we gotta prepare her for the world. Gotta help her adjust.
Expect me to get stinking thing on feet. We was stay. We can't speak. Cause I say you can't.
I guess I got him a couple of sizes too small.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. She'll adjust.
Have you boys noticed Joan's new clothes?
Sure have, Pa. They're real nice.
Some clothes, all right, Paul.
Real fashion plate, yes, sir.
Dress stink. Boots stink. Things under stink. You stink. Are you?
John! Come with me. Shut the door, please. Joan? Look at me, John. Look at me. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I've been forcing things on you. Trying to make you want things which you didn't want or even care about. So, you're free to go now.
Free?
Yeah.
You mean I do what I want?
Yes, of course. I'm not your jailer.
Good. I go now.
Where would you go?
Back to my people.
You hate the white world so much that you go back to the Paiutes knowing that they'd kill you.
There is other tribes.
These other tribes, they'd accept a Paiute cast-off, a white girl.
Knowing English, my mother teach me, not make me white. Walk in this shoe, like balancing on stones crossing creek.
Well, it takes a little patience. Besides, you haven't buttoned them properly. Now, look, I'm going to show you this once more.
I never learned to walk in this, or dress right, or eat with fork.
Joni, you can do anything you set your mind to do in this world if you just take a little time and patience.
But I start so late to learn what others learn as child.
You're not much more than a child yourself.
I'm not child. Wyote, son of chief, would marry me.
It doesn't make you a woman. Joan, In our world, in your world now, people marry for different reasons than they do in the pirate world. Here we usually marry for love.
I tell you before, that is word I learn in English, but it is only word.
Well, when it happens to you, it'll be more than only word. You'll meet someone someday, and he'll be different from other men. And when he talks, his voice will have a special meaning just for you alone. And when he touches you, it'll be as if you've been waiting for that touch all your life. When it happens, you'll know. It's like something magic. Now, up you get.
Boy, I need magic to walk in this stinking. In this shoe.
Practice. Let go, bud.
Now, you reckon what could be so all-fired funny in there?
Well, whatever it is, it's all right with me as long as it keeps him laughing.
Yeah.
Oh. Sewed hook's all crooked. Another mistake. I wish I was like you. You never make mistakes.
Oh, don't I? Got that dress about 10 sizes too big for you, didn't I? However, according to Lady Stanhope, men are forgiven mistakes in the social world. Ladies must know. Why don't you leave that alone for a while? There's an article here about Senator Douglas. I'd like you to read. He's a man I admire very much.
According to Senator Douglas, if war comes between the states, the silver of our
Territory.
territory will be of vital importance.
What are you laughing about? Nobody said anything funny.
I was remembering that book of etiquette I've been reading these last few weeks.
Oh, and what did you find amusing about it?
Well, it was just that drawing of all those knives and forks, you know, that they use. And here, I struggle with one.
I wouldn't worry about that. Pa's been lecturing me about them for years, and I still get confused past one of each.
Men are forgiven mistakes in the social world, but ladies must know.
Now, I wonder who made that proclamation.
I think it was Lady Stanhope of England, who wrote the Book of Etiquette.
I see. Well, I don't think we have to worry about entertaining Lady Stanhope at the Ponderosa.
Adam, excuse me. Joan, did you find anything interesting in the newspaper lately?
Yes, I did. I was reading a most interesting article about the Silver Lobby in Washington. According to Senator Douglas, if war comes between the states, the silver of our territory could well be of vital importance politically. According to Senator Douglas, the economic situation, both for the North and the South, would be unlimited. And so from the time of the Egyptians,
Silver has influenced the destinies of men and nations, according to Senator Douglas.
That's very interesting. According to Senator Douglas.
Joan, I found the conversation most informative. Thank you.
Well, I will leave you, gentlemen, to your coffee and brandy. I have some sewing waiting for me in my room.
Well, what do you think? That was quite a performance, wasn't it?
I must admit she's a lot different than she was 2 months ago when we first saw her.
Yeah, she's become an interesting composite.
What do you mean?
A composite of Lady Stanhope, Senator Douglas, and Ben Cartwright. All right, you accomplished what you set out to do. Well, now what are you going to do with it? You got a plan?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I do have a plan. She'll have what every woman deserves. A chance for her rightful place in society. As a wife.
You already got somebody picked for her?
Well, of course not. She'll never make her own choice. There are plenty of red-blooded men in the territory. Just wait till they get a look at her.
What are you figuring on doing, advertising her?
As a matter of fact, yes, I am. In a way. We're going to give a party this Saturday night and invite every eligible bachelor in the territory. She'll be fighting them off by the dozen, you'll see.
According to Senator Douglas, if war comes between the states, the silver of our territory could well be of vital importance politically. According to Senator Douglas, the economic possibilities both for the North and the South are enormous. Let us take, for example, 10 basic economic advantages for the North. First,
Mr. Cartwright.
Oh, well, don't let me interrupt. Please go on.
Oh, no, sir. Not interrupting at all, sir.
No, sir. I believe we could use some of that punch.
Well, what were you talking about?
Senator Douglas's monetary theories.
Well, Jonah, you know, a subject like that doesn't have too much appeal for young fellas. Why don't you talk about other things?
What other things?
Well, I'll tell you things like, Oh, Tom Bello, come on over here. First time I've seen you tonight. Now, you know Joan, of course.
Oh, yes, sir. We had a long talk about Senator Douglas.
Well, that's not a very exciting subject for a young girl. Now, Tom, I know you can do better than that. I'll tell you what. Why don't you and Joan go outside, get a breath of fresh air? Show her the moon. Now, there's a subject that young girls never get tired of. See, go ahead now, along with you, both of you. Little music. Tom Bellows just took Joan out for a walk in the moonlight.
Think Lady Stanhope would approve?
Well, never mind Lady Stanhope. I think I understand young people better than she does. Which reminds me, I haven't seen you fellas dancing with any of the girls tonight.
What girls? No, you were so busy inviting eligible bachelors, you forgot to invite any eligible girls.
I guess I did.
Skaya, it's say you can. And I spit on your grandmother's shadow.
Joan, what happened?
The Paiutes, they told me about this moon madness. I did not like it.
Well, I'll tell that young fella a thing or two.
No. No, it's not important.
Of course it's important. I'm not going to let him spoil your party.
Yes, and he told me the reason for this party. If I had known, I could have saved you the trouble. I have no need for these young men. There's no magic with them. No magic. I'm going to bed.
rest of them.
Sorry the party wasn't the success you expected.
Well, I'm very surprised at Tom's behavior. Really very surprised.
Maybe Tom didn't understand the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Well, maybe like she said, Paul, she just ain't interested in them young fellas.
She's a young girl.
Maybe she likes more mature men like you.
What's all this nonsense about?
Well, maybe it ain't so much nonsense, Paul. Maybe...
Maybe what?
Maybe she loves you.
That girl doesn't even know the meaning of the word.
Oh, indeed I do.
Paul, there's some stock that's got to be taken care of out in the barn.
Yeah, I'm going to help him, Pa.
I'm more practical. I'm going to bed.
It took me a long time to realize what had happened to me. Just as it will take you time. No. Take time. You'll realize how right it is. You're the finest, most wonderful man in the world. And I love you very much. Good night, Benjamin. Darling. Good morning, Benjamin. Breakfast will be ready in a moment.
Oh. Well, I'll wash up.
That would be all for now, Hobson. Thank you. Benjamin, you've taken time and thought about it?
Oh, yes. Yes, Joan, I have.
Then you understand.
Joan, I want to ask you a question. Where did you get this idea?
Last night at the party, when I looked at all those young men, then I looked at you, and then I knew, because the magic was there.
What magic?
Well, the magic you told me was love. It happened just as you said it would.
Oh, Joan, when I told you that, I wasn't talking about me. No, this feeling that you have...
This love I have.
This feeling that you have, it isn't love, Joan. It's what students feel for their teachers sometimes. It's not what you think.
I know how I feel. It's how you feel that's important.
Well, I know. This conversation is ridiculous.
Not according to Senator Douglas.
What has Senator Douglas got to do with it?
Senator Douglas said that all things can be settled logically if intelligently applied.
It has nothing to do with logic.
It has to.
Joan.
Look at me. I'm the proof.
Joan,
I said,
please.
look at me. Would you look at me?
I'm looking at you. All right, now, what has this got to do with Senator Douglas's immortal cliches about logic?
Am I not what you made me? Did you not say the night of the party that I would make a perfect mate for any man?
Well, yes. No. I would... Yes, as an artist would speak of a creation.
There, you admitted it.
Admitted what?
You said that you created me. Now, would you create something that you hated, something that you didn't care about?
Joan,
or would you? No, you wouldn't. You'd create something that you loved. Me.
Joni, love has nothing to do with logic.
It has everything to do...
Joan, let me give you a very pertinent logical fact. I'm old enough to be a father.
Oh, pooh. If a Paiute's wife dies, he looks for the youngest next wife he can find. One who can work hard and give him many sons.
Joan, I have enough sons.
Well, I'll give you more. Bigger than Hoss, smarter than Adam, and handsomer than little Joe.
Joan, now listen to me. I am not the man for you.
I'll show you that you are. You hold me. There's an old Paiute custom.
Joan, we are not Paiutes.
Well, we can borrow the custom for just a little while.
Joan, please. Joan, will you stop this?
Oh, sorry, Pa.
Come in, boys. Benjamin has some news to tell you.
I got some chores to do.
Benjamin?
Some errands?
Yeah, Joan asked me to take her into town to get some things. We, looked for you, but you were gone.
Yeah, well, I, had some things to do around the barn.
Yeah.
You got something on your mind?
Same thing's on your mind. Joan. She thinks she's gonna marry you.
Well, that's nonsense. I told her so.
Well, she thinks she's gonna marry you. It sure isn't nonsense to her.
Well, of course it's nonsense. She's not gonna marry me. She's not in love with me. It may take her time, but she'll realize that.
Well, I don't know if you got that much time. You know, one of the things she wanted to look at in town? Wedding dresses.
Wedding dresses?
Now, you always taught us that the hurt you feel when you tell the truth is a little shorter and less painful than the hurt you feel when you, don't face the truth.
The hurt will go away. I promise you. In time, you'll have to look close to even see the scar. I have a close and very dear friend in San Francisco. Her only daughter died about 5 years ago, and I know that she would welcome you as a companion, even as a daughter.
You don't believe I love you?
I believe that you're misinterpreting the word.
No. You told me. You said one man will seem different. His voice special, his touch magic. That is how I feel.
Joan, the way you feel now, you'll feel so differently 5 or 10 years from now when you're a mature woman.
I don't care about 5 or 10 years from now. I care about now. I care about how I feel now. But you don't love me, do you?
I love you. But not as you think you want me to love you. I love you as I love Adam, Horse, and little Joe.
That isn't what I mean. You just don't understand.
Maybe I do. The tears for lost youth are just as bitter. The cry, where were you when I was young? Just as painful.
You don't love me. You don't love me.
Joe. I'm consumed with jealousy and envy for the young man who will one day marry you. I wired my friend in San Francisco, and I talked to Chief Kiui again. His son has married, and he says that you are welcome to go back to the tribe if you wish. So you see, you have 2 worlds from which to choose.
2 worlds? I have no world. You destroyed the world of the Indian for me. And now you've destroyed your world for me, too.
I'll get the ticket for San Francisco.
I'm sorry you're unhappy. Sorry my father's unhappy. He didn't mean to hurt you.
He doesn't care anything about me.
I think he cares a great deal.
No, he cares nothing. My life is empty.
Your life is just beginning. And I think your heart is a little too young to break. The bruise will heal. But my father, when he thinks of you in the future, will feel sad and guilty. Because he'll remember you now in your unhappiness and blame himself.
Well, he should.
Why, just because he tried to help you? He's given you a future, no matter what you may think now. And if you love him, give him something too. Take the guilt away from him. Let him remember you now without unhappiness.
You teach as well as your father. Thank you, Adam.
Guess we better be getting aboard.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Are you going to San Francisco?
Yes, yes, I am.
Oh. Well, then we'll be fellow passengers. My name is Joan Wingate.
I'm John Turner.
Well, I have the fare all arranged.
Well, good. I guess we can get on board.
Here, let me help you.
Oh, this is John Turner. He's going to San Francisco, too.
How do you do?
Turner?
Well, goodbye. And thank you, Benjamin.
It's gonna be all right, Adam. Yes, sis, she's gonna be all right.
Well, it should be all right, Pa. Why not? She's got everything you taught her. A few of her own. Like courage.
Like magic.